Hey, I'm James Cooley, the host of E360. It's Your Life, the James Cooley Show, which I tell you, I want you to watch because we're going to encourage people to dream big, think big, and be big at everything they do. We're going to have absolutely fantastic guests that are going to come on that's going to inspire each and every last one of us. And we are going to work together because we are a team. And you always have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a kid or communities and all of these other type of things. That's what we're going to do with the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life on E360 television, on 31 different podcasts, on the radio, streaming, radio, TV. I hope you join us real soon. It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley. See you soon. Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. I'm excited. I'm excited to have this guest. She's been on the show before. She's an absolutely fantastic young lady. She's doing a whole lot of things out there. She is known as the small business cheerleader. And I tell you, she's going to come to us and she's going to bring a whole lot of knowledge, understanding, and focus on what we need to do in order to jumpstart, head up, keep up, push up our business on whatever we're doing. And so I'm just so excited to have this young lady on this show today. And I always have to introduce my great co-host, Michelle Cooley. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. It's kind of humid in Texas, but it's always like that in the summertime, spring, summer. But doing great, James.
Yeah, you know, for the listener audience, wherever you're watching this at, if you're watching it on television, if you're watching it on LinkedIn, you're watching it on YouTube, Facebook, etc. Yeah, we're in Texas today. I'm in California next week, but we're in Texas today, and I tell you, just so thankful for this past week that God has blessed us with. I had an opportunity to march and get my honorary doctorate degree, and so it's just so wonderful. And I had an opportunity to meet a lot of great folks out there. And I just want to say that whatever you're striving for, keep your head up and keep moving forward because you can get it. But Michelle, I want to talk about this absolutely fantastic guest. And I know she's doing a whole lot of things out there. And just like I mentioned earlier, she's known as the small business cheerleader, but she's also a best-selling author. Tell a little bit about her, Michelle.
Well, do you want me to start with the title of the show and the
No,
purpose?
yeah, we're talking about her. We're gonna talk about her before we get to all the purpose and all of that great stuff. I
Okay.
mean,
Well, this amazing guest, she is known as the small business cheerleader. She's a best-selling author, and she's an entrepreneur, and she is the owner of a Black-owned, woman-owned media production and distribution company.
wow, so I can't wait to get on. So why don't you start by telling them what the title of the show is and then the purpose?
Yes, the title of the show today is Pretty Up the Ugly Side of Entrepreneurship. Again, I said to getting to know the small business cheerleader, best-selling author, entrepreneur, Black-owned, woman-owned media production, distribution company owner, Tisha Hammond. And she's going to be talking about why entrepreneurship is so attractive and talk about, social media versus the ugly side of self-employment and discuss the problems versus inconveniences of self-employment slash entrepreneurship and talk about what is a P.O.O.R mindset.
Wow. So a poor mindset. I think that's what you just said. But
Exactly.
but I know it got a lot more to do with it than that. So I tell you, why don't you introduce this young lady to our listeners and our
Yes.
viewers?
Tisha Hammond. Tisha Hammond knows the pain and pleasure of making that transition from employee to full-time self-employment. She is known as a small business cheerleader because of her enthusiasm for entrepreneurs and people who call themselves boss. With a knack for tapping into human capital, she has mastered boosting membership in numerous business communities. She is the best-selling author of Daily Devotional for Entrepreneurs, Your Season to Grow. Ascent Small Business Promotion LLC is her media production and broadcasting company. It's been featured by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation as a Black-owned business that positively impacts Michigan's economy and culture. In between her own stage and media appearances, Tisha is the chief community activator and senior copy editor at Career Master Magazine, board president at the Society for the Reinstitutionalization of Storytelling, and NAWBO/XL, golfer and a passionate Broadway fanatic like myself. Her Asset Media Pro Network team created the Newsmaker Bootcamp and Lights, Camera, Action media training programs to help entrepreneurs and found a Show Up Out in Front in the News. At home in Farmington Hills, Michigan, she enjoys life with her husband Ken and their 5 children and many grands. One more thing, Tisha requires frequent forgiveness for breaking out in random show tunes. I'm with you. The James Cooley Show Live welcomes back again Tisha Hammond.
Tisha, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. It seemed like it's been forever since you was on.
It seems that way.
I'm just so happy to have you back, and I can't wait to our viewers and our listeners to get an opportunity to know exactly who this young lady is. So what have you been doing lately?
I know. Since we last met on your show, let's see. I've got a new grandbaby on the way. I have been enjoying the completion of the first year of college for our youngest child and creating space to continue to date my husband as we have been golfing up a storm together this spring and enjoying some Broadway shows, Michelle. Growing my team at the ascentmediapro.net company and just doing my best to serve in my community. And y'all know I love entrepreneurs. I have an affinity for people who want to call themselves boss. So I do my best to structure my day around how I can be of my best service to them.
Wow. So we know since the last time you've been on, a lot of people that don't know. Can you tell them, our listeners, our viewers, where you grew up at and the lessons that you learned from your great parents that makes you the person that you are today?
Jesus. Okay. Where did I grow up at? Everywhere. I was in one of those families where my mom uh, didn't hesitate to move us around. And so I was born in Los Angeles, spent a lot of time in California. We end up in Ohio, back to Los Angeles. We've been in Florida and in New York. And I planted roots in Maryland when I went off to college and stayed in Baltimore for a significant amount of my adult years. Some of the things that I learned from my parents that molded and made me were it takes a village, because I have 3 sets of parents. and I needed every single one of those sets for something different. So I am truly thankful to my mother and father who allowed others to influence some areas of my life. And I try to give that to other people's children in addition to my own through mentoring. Some of the things my mom taught me in particular were it's okay for a woman to be tough as nails. It takes a lot to be a woman. She owned two businesses, and I seen some of the pleasure and pain of owning her own as well. My father loved my daddy. He gave me a love for cooking and inspired me that whenever I whip something up in the kitchen, I better add love to it if I don't add nothing else to it. And so I thoroughly enjoy preparing meals for my family. What that turned out, in my adult life, what that looks like is on my calendar, I have a number of things every day, but three are very consistent. That's to be a friend, make a friend, and share a meal with someone every day.
Wow, that's really inspirational, Tisha. I mean, that's really nice. Especially those lessons that you both, that your parents instilled in you. What's interesting is that, a lot of people do not dream of being an entrepreneur. A lot of people do. But when did you decide, or did you always have it instilled in you based on your parents that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
No, I've tried to find the year, and I do want to say hello to Mary Wells, whose comment is on the screen now. She is a amazing friend and a teammate. Uh, I could tell you this: when I was a child, the only dream I had was to be a cop, and that came true.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to spend a 21-year career in federal law enforcement and civil rights advocacy, and I got to live out that dream of protecting others. Um, when it comes to wanting to be an entrepreneur, wow, let's see if I can put a year on it. I went to college for criminal justice and business. So something in me around the age of 18 understood at least the importance of managing business. I can't say that young that I saw myself owning anything, but certainly after I got into law enforcement and realized I needed a stress outlet in my early to mid 20s, definitely had plans to buy and open a skating rink. That was my stress outlet, y'all. And I just knew that I was going to have a skating rink in my name and that my family, I had everybody's job lined out for them. My husband and our baby, my niece and nephews, my sisters, my mom, and I had everybody like in the way of what they were going to do, and that just did not work out at all. I realized then that no one can live your dream of entrepreneurship for you. You have to live it, and not everybody plays the same role in it as you think they do.
Wow. So tell us about your transition. So I believe everybody has an aha moment because you hear stories of people working for corporate America, and they just like they have a cushy job, great salary, benefits, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, I'm done. Or they thought about it and they put the plans in motion for a couple of years and then they decide to make that move. Can you tell us about Tisha Hammond's transition from working for others, corporate America, to self-employment?
Absolutely, and thank you for it. So, in 2014, my family, I'm a cheery, upright, happy-go-lucky person. In 2014, the family was devastated by tragedy, right? My sister and brother, they died 5 weeks apart, both unexpectedly. They both such talented, bright stars. And I know from my sister for certain, she passed away first. I know that she had products lined up with Walmart. She definitely was an entrepreneur. She didn't want to call nobody boss but herself, and I respected that about her. She took the hard way, and it was looking like it was about to pan out. She's You couldn't have stopped her, but the grave stopped her.
Mm.
And honestly, I haven't even begun to grieve my brother because I'm still mourning the loss of my sister. We were very close in age, and we were very close. And so I'm grieving, right? 2014, more tragedy came to the family. In fact, my husband and I went to 26 funerals across 2 years around 2014. And at some point, November 29th, 2014 comes around, and I had a dream. And I know this is about to sound like an MLK day, but this is the reality. I went to sleep, and while I was sleeping, in a dream came the name of my company, Ascent Small Business Promotion, came the company mascot because I saw an eagle soaring in the sky like that, the company colors, blue and yellow, the name, the Small Business Cheerleader. Fast forward on November 29th, 2014, I wasn't ready to give up a biweekly paycheck of thousands and thousands and thousands. I wasn't ready to give up thousands of dollars. I put it in prayer. And January 2nd, 2015, made the extraordinary determination that if I am to fulfill what I believe was a calling to share good news through entrepreneurship, I needed to do it on the first business day possible in 2015. Registered the business and began to create an exit strategy with my husband and our financial planner for how I would move into full-time self-employment. The move into full-time self-employment also came with a tiny bit of tragedy, but it happened in 2018.
Why don't you hold that thought? Because we're going to take a station break. And I want to come back and continue to pick that one up, talk a little bit more about it. And I tell you, if you want to be part of this conversation, just go to the text. I see we got Mary Wells. Hey, how you doing out there, Mary? All you have to do is just put up what you want to ask, and we'll make sure that your message is locked in, because it's your life, and this sister right here is bringing it. So we'll see you shortly after the break. It's your life. I'm Jay.
Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Listen up! It's Dr. J.C. Cooley. Yeah! It's the J. Cooley Show! It's your life! Hey!
The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we're offering this year and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the generosity of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at cooleyfoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, we got the small business cheerleader with us today. And, she owns her own company, black-owned, woman-owned from Metro Detroit. And I tell her, she's bringing it. And she is teaching us and going to continue to teach us what it takes to be a small business owner, what it takes to have that stickability to go out and live your dream. Not just think about it, but just go out and put it in action. So I'm so happy to have this young lady on the show today. And I want to pick it up with where we left off at about you telling us how you became the small business cheerleader. You said that you went to sleep, you prayed, and it hit you. Can you pick it up from there?
Yeah, hit me like a ton of bricks, right? So that was 2014. New year, new me, newly created. That's what my friend Mary Wells often reminds me about, that you have the opportunity to be newly created. And so I wasn't ready to give up a biweekly paycheck or a six-figure salary. So I did baby steps into business, right? I wanted to keep the perks and benefits of and the security of employment, and kind of like mess around, dip my toe in to my own business. And I was able to do that, y'all. I remember my first client was a church. It's like, wow, okay, churches want marketing. I'm thankful. I believe this is a ministry. I was glad to partner with organizations and clients along the way. And I did plenty of business consulting and helping others grow their companies, doing their marketing for them, and learning about the value of relationships along the way. And I will fast forward to 2018, right? So I spent 3 years working full time and then trying to do my own business after hours. And that'll take you from like a 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. kind of day. And that's not good when you're in love, and it's not good when you have children and you got grandbabies. And it's not good when you have older parents that you want to be on the lookout for. And in 2018, my mother moved out of our home just about 8 miles away. She moved in with her sister and began to be a caregiver for her sister, who was managing 4 different types of cancer. They were terminal. And as my aunt was going through radiation, I noticed my mother was losing her hair. My mother, the caregiver, was being affected by caregiving. And I just felt wrong as a child, going to work every day and watching my mom, what I thought was struggling to provide good care, and sit on the sidelines and me not do much about it. And so I asked my employer if I could take the maximum amount of time off in the spring of 2018 so I could give care to my mother, who was caring for her sister. And my employer was so happy to initially say yes. I asked for more than 400 hours off. I had it banked up. I was ready to use it. Certainly, I thought I was saving it so I could use it for when I needed it. And the answer was immediately yes. And then really quickly, hold on, let's talk about some things here. And end up giving me 15 days off. So 15 days of sick leave, get my stuff in order, do what I could for my mom, and then we'd address the situation later. By the 15th day, I had plenty of conversations, years of conversations with my husband by that point. And I remember him just telling me very clearly, just do it already. Meaning, you have my support, whatever decision you make about your current status of employment. And y'all, I called my supervisor. It was April 2nd. And I told her what I was preparing to do. I was preparing to end my employment, to retire early, in order to care for my mother. And my supervisor and I cried together. She was a woman of God. We cried together because she understood I meant what I was about to say and do. I said, you know, I've been this company's been good to me. I've been excellent to it, but I have to turn the knob. I got to turn the page. There's a new chapter. I got to do what I have to do, what I'm called to do. And I retired early that day and have not looked back. What I did do was leave the employment of the federal government, turn around and make the federal government my customer on my terms, doing the same exact work that I love to do through federal contracting. And that has been something I've been able to go around and share with a lot of people.
Wow. You know, you know, you got me speechless. And normally that's so wonderful to sit back, think about things, make a tough decision like that, and go out, birth it, and then continue to let it grow. You know, so I got this question. So why is entrepreneurship so attractive?
It's attractive for various reasons. You know, part of it is because what we see in social media. You see people out here living their best lives. That's what we post. You know, living our best lives. We can buy and do and say what we want to buy and do and say. And who it really ends up affecting us, you know, the most is the person. And you don't have to answer to anybody. It seems like when you're an entrepreneur, you have all of this time and mind freedom on your hands, and you can make your schedule up the way you want it to look and work 4 hours a day and bring millions in. So that's attractive if you believe all of that you see. But that's not the reality sometimes.
You know, what is the difference between entrepreneurship and a business owner?
Thank you, Michelle, because there is one. So an entrepreneur is someone who accepts that a great risk comes along with trying to live out their passion. They're willing to take great risks in order to achieve some greater reward, right? So they're willing to tell people that they have a product or a service or something like that. And that's great. You can make money that way. You can get famous that way. You can gain popularity. You can fulfill your purpose that way. And that's super. A business owner is intentional about registering that thing with their state and then paying taxes and then receiving some great benefits from various government entities for being in business, hopefully.
Wow. So, Tisha, you are the owner of a Black-owned, women-owned media production and distribution company. Are you considered an entrepreneur, a business owner, or, you know, basically a worker? What do you consider? What is Tisha Hammond?
You know what? You said worker, and that is still very true. And I'm going to tell you something about entrepreneurship. I consider myself all of those. Something about entrepreneurship is it's great to be your own boss. When you just leave one job, though, and start a business and only create one job, the job you're about to sit in and work your heart out in, that's self-employment. And that can be more painful sometimes than the job you just left. But I do consider myself all of those. I am an entrepreneur because I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I'm innovative. I'm resourceful. I take great risks because I believe there's a greater reward. I am a business owner because my business is officially registered with the state of Michigan and various government entities. I am a worker in my business. In fact, I'm a vendor in my business. That's how I get paid.
Wow. You know, one thing about just basic entrepreneurship. So there are the highs, there are the lows, there are the peaks, there are the valleys. Can you just kind of just summarize about your peak performance and also maybe about your valley challenges and how you got out of it?
Yeah, plateaus, peaks, and valleys are essential things that you hear from me often in my conversations about this lifestyle called entrepreneurship. So, we'll start high. Peak performance has definitely been growing a team. There is no way that I, as one person with limited resources, can grow and scale a media, broadcasting, and distribution company that can be competitive trying to do that as a solopreneur. There's no way in my world. It might happen in other people's world, but not with the resources that I have. So peak performance has been growing a team and actually having teammates who make this better for the clients we're trying to serve, right? Valley moments. My God, let me tell y'all something. Self-employment tax will kick your behind if you are not prepared for it. So I can tell you the valley moments have been those years where somehow I forgot that I pay quarterly estimated taxes because, that's kind of like good. You want to not be surprised at the end of your tax year that you owe Uncle Sam when you're the only paycheck that, you're relying on in business. A valley moment, Michelle, was the years that I forgot that I made more money beyond the estimated taxes. I'm thinking I drew a really cool profit in business. And then who knocked on my door or in my mailbox?
Uncle
is
Sam.
the state of Michigan, and then the US Treasury reminded me, oh, here's a balance. Here's the extra that you owe on all of that new money you made. So that hurt. Oh, that hurt.
I just want to give a quick comment, James. You know what? Entrepreneurship is great in that whatever service or product that you're marketing, but then there's another side, the business side, that you have to really get to know about. And so I can see where those challenges can come across.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, so Mary Wells has a question for you. What are the 3 impactful technology tools that you use?
Amen to the amen. Thank you, Mary. QuickBooks. If you're ever on my show, Pep Talk TV, you hear me talk about QuickBooks because it's a product that I've used for my entire business. So when it comes to bookkeeping, I don't have a bookkeeper on staff. I definitely have a CPA, and I meet with her around tax time. But what about the rest of the 12 months of the year? I got to have numbers in order. I have to be able to pull reports as necessary. So QuickBooks has been essential. StreamYard, being able to live stream to various places and meet my supporters where they are. And then Calendly, having a scheduling calendar, been essential so that I can meet up with people and not, overlap those events.
Wow. We got to take a station break, but we're gonna come back and wow, I'm just having a ball, and I can tell that our viewers and our listeners are having a ball as well, because they are blowing up my my Facebook and my text and all that. So we're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back and continue this great conversation with this great entrepreneur. It's your life. I'm Dr. James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break. Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, / Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build the foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, this is such a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I don't call it an interview; it's a conversation because you get an opportunity to really get a chance to know someone, what's in their heart, the things that they're doing, and the joy that they're bringing others. And we got that young lady on the show today, Tisha Hammond. And I tell you, if you want to be part of this conversation, just go to wherever you're at on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, and just add your comments. And I make sure that if you got questions, that she'll get them. So, Tish, you was talking about, and I know you went into this with Michelle about some of the valley highs and lows, and that there will always be highs and lows in everything that we do. But in the highs and the lows, what lessons did you learn from that?
Absolutely. So my high, that peak performance was really about bringing team members on. And this is just a reinforced lesson of Ubuntu. So my business was founded on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa truly is about culture and community. And at least in my household, and definitely in our business model, we believe that I am because we are. So creating a team of other peak performers, this is reinforces community. So the lesson that I learned there was that why am I here trying to do great things by myself when there are resources that can help? Help is not a dirty 4-letter word. It's necessary, and so I reinforce community as often as I can. And then, in the valley low, I referenced that self-employment tax. Well, the lesson that I learned was to annually readjust the way that I disperse income that comes into my company. So in 2021, I used one formula. The formula included, making sure that the company pays tithes and offerings, is in charitable, making sure that I receive wages, that my team receives a meaningful wage, that there's something left over for profit, and that there's something that goes toward retirement and benefit planning, and that there's something that gets put back into the company. And so those numbers in 2022 have to change because we're projecting growth. I am aware I am going to owe more self-employment tax so long as I'm an LLC. So another lesson learned, in addition to kind of like reformulating each year, is having those conversations with your financial planner or your tax accountant, your small business tax accountant, who understands the value in when is a good time to make that transition from an LLC to an S Corp, where I don't have to worry about self-employment tax, but I incur a whole bunch of different other expenses.
Wow. That's another conversation that you and I are going to have because a lot of folks do not know the difference between the S Corp and the LLC and what type of tax implications that could be. So I want to kind of switch it I want to talk about what are the 7 ugly features of entrepreneurship and self-employment that you talk about?
What are some of the ugly features of self-employment and entrepreneurship? Okay, y'all, hold on here. This is where it gets really real, because I think they fall into 2 major categories, and one is reputation and one is relationships. So if we're talking about the ugly side of entrepreneurship as it relates to your reputation, well, you go into business planning to be a peak performer, to be stellar, to provide A++ customer service until you meet that customer that really works your last nerve, or until you meet that customer who provide so much of your income when that income is no longer flowing in because of something you might have done. Then there's an opportunity for someone to really tell some naked or nasty truths about your business and the way that you run it or the way your team managed that client. So there's the reputation side that a lot of people don't talk about, and there's a need to protect your relationships, yes, and to protect your reputation as the business owner and the brand's reputation, making sure it's upheld in a positive light, utilizing media and public relations if necessary to get in front of either faulty stories, if someone is out there telling lies and spreading negative things about your brand that are not true. I can tell you that there's one particular online directory or review site where you can leave reviews that has ended up in court because on that site for some time it was okay for people to leave outright lies about other people's businesses. That's not right. That's not good when your competitor can pay somebody to write a terrible review about you and damage your reputation. Because when your reputation as a business owner or a brand owner is damaged, guess what that impacts? It impacts your income, which impacts your output, how well you can deliver to the remaining customers or to the future customers and clients. So reputation and reputation management, brand management, can have an ugly side to it, Michelle.
Yes, I could imagine. And also you said you have a great team that supports you. And one of the things about, and just can you comment on this? One of the things about your team, depending on what their role is, if they're meant to be in the front and represent you, there's certain skills and qualities and styles of communication that person is supposed to have who's representing you. There are some people who are meant to be in the background, and there's some people who are great in the forefront. But the people that you're assigned to the forefront, they have to represent you, and they have to have great communication skills to keep your reputation positive and also to build those good client relationships. What is your thoughts on that, especially when it comes to your team?
Yes, thank you. So in the onboarding process at Ascent, I actually ask our prospect team members about their entrepreneurial profile. Mm-hmm. Because I know that my entrepreneurial profile is the star. That means I don't mind talking. I don't mind being spontaneous. I don't mind jumping on camera. I don't mind doing the TikTok reel. I don't mind that. But if someone doesn't want to be the star, and do those things as well, then I need to know where they are strong in, where they're comfortable in, where they're willing to grow into. So at this stage, when I'm onboarding someone onto the team, I'm not trying to strengthen their weaknesses. I'm trying to build on their strengths. And I want to utilize people where they can thrive, right? So having those honest conversations about what their entrepreneurial profile is and really tuning into what they're strong in has been helpful.
I like that. So, Tisha, you have this saying, two sayings: currency isn't always green, and the almighty peso. Can you comment on both of those and what does it really mean?
Yes. So currency isn't always green. I remember having a conversation with a great speaker. Her name is Mimi Brown, and she kind of alluded to this once upon a time in one of our conversations in 2018, just after I had that conversation with my employer and I went out full time on my own. She told me this. She said, Tisha, there's a path to yes. And when she said that, we were talking about speaking engagements and what my speaker fee would be. And she was going to make some introductions to me throughout her network. And she kind of was preparing me, what happens if someone doesn't agree to your speaker fee? And she told me this term, there's a path to yes. As she told me that, I began to dwell on those words and do some research, and realized that there are a lot of things of value out there that aren't cash. They're as valuable as cash, but they're not cash. They're not the speaker's fee. They're not the value of the product in terms of, coin, but they might hold as great value in something else. And so when I say currency isn't always green, that means keep the pathway to yes open, because what you find valuable, you may understand you don't need actual cash or a payment. You don't have to receive that to get the same or greater value. And here's a for instance. I still have the same speaker's fee, and not everybody can or is willing to pay it. So if I am in that point of the conversation where someone's asked what my fee is, and I tell them, and there's a pause, and I say, well, how's that sound to you? And they are, and I say, well, there's a path to yes. And I talk about the other things that are valuable to me that they might be able to agree to. So when I speak, I have a writer. In my contract, I also want entertainment. I want a driver when I'm going out around town. I don't want to be in a new town and have no one to talk to. I at least want to have a driver who can show me around, make some introductions. I want to go golfing. I want to do other things. So we can get up to the speaker's feet in different ways if we're both open to it,
I'm loving this. I love how you put that. So wow. For our listeners out there and viewers that are locked in just like I am, what are a few things that our audience can do to improve the rewards that comes from entrepreneurship?
Yeah. I have another saying, Michelle. So this acronym, and I didn't talk about the peso yet. I will get to that. To answer your question, James, I will answer it with an acronym, and that's ATM. That's go to the ATM. And that doesn't mean go to the bank. It means embrace automation. That's the A. The T is talent. Build your team before you open your business. Before you launch with your state and register it, have your team already lined up on that org chart. Have them already in the payroll system, or know how you're going to pay them for their services. And then M is monetize. Do something that is actually going to generate income. And you can do a number of things to make that happen. Utilizing an e-commerce platform is super helpful for entrepreneurs, because you want a site or a landing page or something mobile that someone can get on at 3 a.m. and get a hold of your products and services and pay for them without having to wake you up. You want a site that makes money while you sleep, while your team is on vacation. So e-commerce is definitely helpful. Setting up your business on an e-commerce platform first gives you some good opportunities.
Wow. That's great information. We got to take a station break, but I promise you, when we come back, we're going to let Michelle re-ask that question, because we want to hear about the peso portion, and we want to continue to bring this woman back on to continue to educate us. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Coley, and this is fun. It's fun and it's educational, and we always have to be open-minded and learn. So I always talk about this thing called look, listen, and learn. Look, listen, and learn. And if you do those things and the learning portion of it, you're able to implement a lot of the great nuggets that others might have that you're probably not doing yourself, and be able to push your business or whatever you're doing to the highest level. So, hey, Michelle, now you had asked, and before I interrupted her with another question, she never got to the peso portion of it. Can you ask that question again?
Yes, I'm actually going to combine two questions into one. Tisha, can you tell us what about your saying, the almighty peso, and also can you discuss what is a P.O.O.R mindset?
You stole that one.
Yeah.
You.
Yes. Okay. The almighty peso is how you show up in the media. So our company is all about helping entrepreneurs and organizations show up out front and in the media. And you do that through the peso communication model, where peso, P is paid media, E is earned media, S shared media, and O owned media. Media you own. You don't have to share it with a social media site. If it shuts down, you still have access to it. So the almighty peso is how you show up in the media. And then there is the P.O.O.R mindset. Yes, Lord. So when you find that you are passing over opportunities repeatedly, or when you are being passed over for opportunities repeatedly, that can have some effect on you. And so in order to shift the mindset from being okay with not being utilized to your fullest potential, or not being able to show up where you should be showing up at Ascent Small Business Promotion LLC, we encourage, in fact, our company core value is to demonstrate a rich mindset, where rich means being resourceful, innovative, curious, and hungry. We believe that rich mindset is bankable. We believe that attracts business and opportunity to you. And we certainly believe in having faith-based, profit-first mindset as entrepreneurs and business owners.
Wow. That's well put. I want to talk about your show, Pep Talk. And I know our listeners are interested to find out exactly what this is and how you go about doing it. Can you tell us what is Pep Talk?
Yeah, Pep Talk TV is where we elevate the conversation around entrepreneurship and good news year-round and worldwide. We have been able to share over 300 episodes. This is a show that has been long supported by Dell Technologies, Career Master Magazine, Dark Matter Cosmetics, and other friends of the show. It's a place where some of our guests, at least one of our guests, has appeared on Oprah. One of our guests has appeared on Shark Tank. And we're literally in the business of sharing good news about other people's businesses. And it's been an incredible run. We're in season 3. Our first show aired June 11th, 2020. And it's just been all systems go, y'all. There was a time when we had a 9-month backlog because we had so many guest stars lined up. We had to say no. And certainly we are open to opening up more show dates this year so we don't have to have that kind of wait, you know.
Tisha, what types of businesses that are launching are trending now? Like what types of businesses?
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot for me in the world around me. I'm seeing a lot of nurses going into either private practice, consulting, or other lifestyle businesses. A ton of health and wellness and beauty businesses have been trending lately. Fintech companies that can give others access to financial technology are on the rise, and that is great and scary at the same time. But it's an opportunity, and it's something that's people are wanting to invest in. And then I'm seeing a lot of marketing companies coming up, so a lot of consultants, and I hope that brick and mortar, you know, makes a comeback because we still, as consumers, like to go into places and shop.
Mhm.
But again, I say if you are going to start a business, setting it up on an e-commerce and digital platform first is a great way to go.
Wow. Tish, we come down to the last 3 minutes of the show, but I got to ask you this question. What is your perspective of being authentic on social media?
I got it, James, Doc. Um, Not everybody gets to see 100% of me. That's my perspective. Some of me is totally reserved for some of the most important active people in my world. And so when I do show up on social media, yes, there will be moments where I'm very vulnerable and transparent. There'll be other moments where I'm very peppy and cheerful. And it's it's a blend of what is needed in the moment for the audience, and what I might need to get off my chest or the message that I need to share. But I cannot see myself being that person that just pops on an Instagram live because I'm crying and I think the world needs to know about it. That's not the authenticity that I want to project. I certainly appreciate others who will share every single aspect of their personal life and their business. That has not been my experience with authenticity. And I defy someone to say that I'm not authentic.
You're right. So we're down to the last 2 minutes of the show. What's next for Tisha Hammond, and how can our listeners and viewers get in touch with you?
Okay, so thank you. What's next is I'm actually was selected as a pitch coach for Boss Blue US. So on June 16th, the community who comes out will see myself and 5 finalists who have been selected for Founders and Funders Pitch Day with Boss Blue, June 16th in Detroit. Beyond that, if people are looking for upcoming events, I list them on our website at ascentmediapro.net, and that's the best place to find me, in addition to LinkedIn and YouTube.
Tisha, this has been absolutely wonderful. And you know, come on now. We've got to get you on a regular basis. You already know that. I mean, you got to come and continue to educate all of us and make sure that we understand what it's going to take and how it's going to take certain things in order to be prosperous. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's your life, radio, TV, podcast, wherever that you're watching it at. So thanks so much. I got to always thank my absolutely fantastic, wonderful co-host, Michelle Cooley. I got to thank my viewers for always tuning in. wherever if you're watching on TV, you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, or whatever. Thank you so much. I'll always provide comments. Ask the great guest questions. That's the only way we're going to learn. So I tell you, we're going to end this right now, but it is your life. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life from James Cooley. Yeah. Hey, Tish, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.